Hey everybody, DBSTCG Central here. Welcome to another deck profile video. If you saw today's thumbnail, you saw today that we're doing, boom, Selmax Devouring the Earth. So this leader is crazy. I love him to death. He's really good for red good stuff. I splashed a little bit of yellow. I have an interesting build. It's a little bit different. I know a lot of people do blue-red for this deck, which is totally viable too. But I decided to go like a different route and see what I could do, and I think it works really well. The yellow splash actually draws you a few more cards and then gives you a few more tricks up your sleeve that I think that are really good for this deck and for the meta, for that matter. So this guy, I think he came out with the Critical Blow pre-release event, and everybody got one for going to the event. So he's definitely a cool card, and I think he looks so sick. But on his Unawakened side, Selmax. When this card attacks, you could draw one card, and then you could add up to one card from your life to your hand, which means you don't have to, but if you want to awaken faster, you can use that ability. And his awaken is when he's at 4 or less, you can draw one card, and then you switch one of your energy to active mode, and you flip this card over. And then when he gets flipped over, he's Selmax Devouring the Earth. Auto once per turn. When the power of one of your opponent's battle cards is reduced, you can draw one card. So this is really cool. This is once per turn, so it'll be on your opponent's turn. Also, it'll be on your turn. So you could draw up to 2 cards before it's your turn again. Well, once on yours and once on there. So it's definitely get some advantage on that with that aspect. So active main once per turn. Place one of your red battle cards in your drop area during that turn. The next time you pay the energy cost for omnidirectional beam in your battle area from your Z deck. Reduce the energy cost of that card by 2 red energy. So this actually helps with a card that I'm going to show you that's in the Z deck. It came out with this card with the promo, and it's a really good card. It's like a board wipe. I'll show you exactly what it does. So, that being said, the first card that we run in this deck is Dr. Hido's Laboratory. So, this is a 1-drop Z extra card for 1 Z energy and 1 regular energy. And with this here, it's got Z stack 1. You do a red cell superhero with energy cost of 3, which is this guy right here, who will take our second spot in the Z deck. I will get to him in a second. And then active main, limit 1. If your leader is a Red Ribbon Army card, you can play up to 1 Gamma 1 superhero with energy cost less than or equal to your energy from your hand in rest mode. So I personally don't run that build using the Gammas. I know a lot of people that do run at Selmax with that, and I decided to stray away from it and just do red good stuff. Well, red, yellow, good stuff for the most part. Active main for 1 red. If you have 4 or more energy and you discard 1 red Magenta SH card from your hand, play up to 1 Selmax. 1 Selmax card with energy cost 3 or less from under this card into your battle area, and then you remove this card from the game. So that card that we play is this one here, Selmax Advent of Despair. So he's got Barrier, Blocker. When this card attacks, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 15,000 power for the turn. If it's your turn, when one of you, when one of your card skills reduces a card's power to 0 or less, switch this card to active mode. So you get 2 20k swings. So notice it doesn't say battle card; it says card. So you could actually do this to their leader, and as long as it gets down to 0, then you can switch this thing to active mode. So definitely cool. Say they don't have any battle cards out, you just need to hit something to get another swing in. That works really good. So that gets played for free from under here. Well, for 1 red energy if you need it. There is another reason why you play this turn 1 or 2 that I'll get to after with some of the cards in the deck. But it allows you to get some free negates and stuff like that. So we got those 2. The next cards that we run is the Omnidirectional Beam. So we run 2 of these guys. Put one over here. So if you don't know what this does, it's 3 energy, but it gets reduced by 2 with the leader ability, and it's 1 Z energy. So when this card is played in the battle area, choose up to one of your opponent, choose all of your opponent's battle cards, and they all get minus 25,000 power for the turn, which is really good because that'll draw you a card as well. If you don't have another way to do it before that. Active battle, limit 1. If you have 4 or more energy, your red cell max SH, which means superhero, card with energy cost of 8 is attacking. You remove this card from the game. The attacking card gets 15,000 power and double strike for the turn. I mean, for the battle, sorry. So there's a few 8-drop cells that you play in here that you can use for this ability, giving it another 15k in double strike. So on top of board wiping, if you remove this on turn 4, you get a big monster beast card that you can attack with, and I'll get to those after. But definitely a cool card, and definitely is great for this deck. A board wipe is more than we can ask for. I mean, minusing stuff, 25k is pretty strong. The next 2 cards that we run is Rush Attack SSB Vegeta. So if you don't know what he does, he's got Deflect, so he comes out. When this card attacks, use up to one mono red. One mono red. What does this say here? Let me just get a little closer. This camera is kind of fuzzy right now. When this card attacks, use up to 1 mono red card with 5,000 combo power from your drop area in a combo with its skills negated for the turn. Additionally, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards or unison cards, and it gets minus 15,000 power for the turn. So just another card that you can minus with if you just need to pull something out of there. Active main once per turn. If you have 4 or more Z energy, switch this card to active mode, and it gets plus 10,000 power, double strike, and barrier. So just a good Z battle card. It's very generic, and it could draw you a card when you play it because it does minus. And if you need to add a little more pressure, it's really good. And the last one we play is SSB Vegeta Surmounting the Impossible. Now, if you don't know what this does, it just kind of takes a life from you, from your life. It just kind of helps you self-awaken. So it's got unique. If your leader is, this part doesn't matter, but if your leader is a Son Goku Z leader, it gets 10,000 power and double strike. But we use it for this auto here. Place 1 card from your hand at the bottom of your deck. When this card is played, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, and then you draw 1 card. Oops, sorry guys. So what's really good about this is if you're stuck, maybe you need to awaken, maybe you need to open up some energy and stuff, you could just always play this card to get that last life so that you can awaken. So it's really good. We also have other self-awakeners and other ways to awaken too. So that's the Z deck. Works pretty well. It's pretty generic, really, except for, the omnidirectional beam is with the leader. So other than that, it's really good. I mean, like I said, those Z extra cards, they can be very powerful. But we'll start with the negates. First off, we have After Image Technique. If you don't know what this does, if you have 5 or more cards in your drop area, you can take a life instead of paying the energy cost for this card. So it becomes free, which is really good. And it could help you awaken if you needed to awaken, which is great. So it doesn't actually count as a counter, which actually helps in certain situations if you needed a combo, because we do run a little bit of a rival in this deck, so it's really cool. But counterattack, if your leader card is red, choose up to 1 of your cards, and it gets plus 40,000 power for the turn, and then one of your opponent's battle cards gets minus 10,000 power for the turn. And I'm sorry, you only get 40,000 power for the battle. I apologize. And it's got Sparking 5. Like I said, you could play it for free if you have 5 or more cards in your drop area. So we run 3 of those. The next card that we run is 4 Wolfang Fist. If you don't know what this does, it's counterplay, and the attacking card gets minus 15k, ignoring barrier. So if they attack you with a leader, you can minus that because it says card, not just battle card. So if it's a battle card or if it's a leader card, even a unison card, you can use this to neg and actually get a draw from your leader. So same with this one here, this neg something 10k, so you'll be able to draw off this as well. I tried to make everything in this deck that you play a way to draw a card on your opponent's turn and on your turn. So 4 of these, they're really strong because if they're attacking with a barrier battle card, that gets right through and you still get to draw a card. Next is 2 testing the opposition. This is going to help us awaken. Sometimes we'll be stuck at 5 life, and if you pass turn and you have 5 life, you can use this. If you have 5 or less life, you could take a life instead of paying the energy cost, and then it becomes a free negate, and then you can play a Cyberman token, which has blocker for the turn, so it can potentially block 2 attacks. So very good card, and it helps self-awaken in this deck. It works really well. The only thing it doesn't do is neg something, which I wish it did, but it is free. So free is great. Next is our Floodgate, which is Topo, Righteous Aid. I did a lot of thinking and trying to figure out a way to stop these giant attacks I had coming at me, and I think Topo is your best answer. If you don't know what it does, on your opponent's turn, this is reduced by 2 energy, so it becomes a 2-drop. So when they attack, you could counter. It'll counter the attack, and then you discard a card, and then your opponent cannot attack for the turn unless they discard 2 cards from their hand each time. So very powerful card. Floodgates are super important. If they counterplay it, it'll negate the attack. You just won't get the effect, but most of the time they don't. A lot of the cards kind of do 15 and less, and this guy's a 20k, so it works out in that aspect. Next is a counterplay that we run. This counterplay here is Beerus Ball, and if your opponent's... Where is it here? If your leader card is red and your life is at 4 or less, if a battle card being played has 15,000 power or less, it's placed in the owner's drop area instead of being played. And if it's your opponent's turn, choose up to one of your leader cards and it gets plus 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. So it kind of sensu beans you, and also it counterplays anything 15k or less, which is really good. Also, if as a permanent here, if you have a multicolor card in your energy and your life is at 4 or less, you can activate this card's counter from your hand by adding a card from your life to your hand instead of paying its cost. So also another good card, and it has the potential to be free in this deck because we do splash yellow into this red deck. So really good card. So say they try to floodgate you and any other color than red, because Topo's a 20k. All the other floodgates and all the other colors, they're all 15k and less. So this really helps if you're trying to go for game. And say you're out of energy and you're trying to go for game, you can just take a life and counterplay their floodgate for free. Or whatever else they might be playing that's 15k or less that you don't like. So that's good for a lot of things. And then after that, I'll show you... Let me see. Yeah, the yellow-red package that we got here is really cool. So we started out with the super combos. I feel like this is the best super combo for red. So Beerus, Motivated Destruction. So this is a super combo. It's got energy exhaust because it's multicolor, which means if you put it into your energy, it is put in rest mode instead of in active mode. If your leader card is red or yellow, when this card is used in a combo from your hand, reveal the top card of your deck and add it to your hand. So you have to reveal the cards to show your opponent, but if it's a red card, you get another plus 5k, so it becomes a 10k super combo draw card, even though you have to show your opponent. But also, if you hit a yellow card, then it negs one of your opponent's cards in rest mode by 5k, so it negs it. So this has the potential to draw you 2 cards in this deck if you're awakened. Say you combo with this, you'll draw the card from the super combo, and then you'll neg something if it has yellow in it, which we do have some yellow cards in here, and then it could draw you another card. So this super combo in this deck is really, really good, potentially. And that's kind of one of the reasons why I splashed yellow, because it'll give you a little bit more draw when you do hit one, and plus I have some arrivals I'll show you after that. But really good card. I love this card. And you don't even have to wait to be at 4 life. So if you're in a pinch, you can use this card when you have 8 life if you need to. Maybe you need to put something in your Z energy to get something going. So it definitely does a lot of work. It's a great super combo. So the next card here is Beerus Unceasing Rage. So if you don't know what this card does here, it's got a rival red-yellow. So if, say I combo with this super combo, I could just pay 1 red energy, and then when this card is played, I draw 1 card, then choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, and they get minus 10,000 power for the turn. So I can minus 2 of their cards in rest mode 10k. So if I haven't drawn a card, I could draw a card, and potentially if I super combo with this, I draw a card off this, I arrival, I play this, it draws a card, I neg 2 cards, that'll draw me 3 cards. You do lose 1, 2, but the effects that you get are great. You get bodies out, you survive a shot, or you go a little more aggressive. And then to draw 3 cards and basically cantrip, like you use these cards and more cards come back to your hand, so you don't have to worry about card advantage in that aspect. So really good. Also, when this card is played, you draw a card. I said that. It gets 2 battle cards get negged in rest mode 10k. And then active main, if you pay 3 energy, you can choose all your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, and they get minus 20k power for the turn. And this card gets plus 5k power and triple strike for the turn. So it can turn into a 25k triple strike if you need to go in for that triple strike, which is awesome. So you play it for 1, you get all these effects, and then if it stays on the board, you can pay 3 and give it triple strike. It's great. And it's not even our win condition, it's just an added bonus, really. Our next yellow-red multicolor card is Beerus Divine Destroyer's Advent. So I run 4 of these guys. This is a tournament pack promo. It's got Energy Exhaust. It's got Limit 1, Arrival, red-yellow for 1 red or 1 yellow energy. It also has Offering. If you guys don't know what Offering does, when this battle card gets played, your opponent can either crit a life or you draw 2 cards. So this is more card draw, or you get to burn your opponent 1 life, which is great. So if a red-yellow multicolor card is in your energy, reduce the combo cost of this card in your hand by 1. So it'll be a free combo if you have a multicolor energy, which you always will try to charge turn 1. Also, when this card attacks, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards with energy cost 4 or less in rest mode, and it can't be switched to active mode until the end of their next turn. So you keep something tapped if something gets out of hand, or if something's got dual attack or something like that. So it's really, really a good card. And the Offering alone is just value like crazy. So we are running red-yellow. So our leader is red. So I run 2 Almighty Resistance. So if you guys don't know what this does, it's 1 red and 1 yellow energy. It's got Energy Exhaust, and it is a counter. So if your leader card is red and you choose 1 yellow card in your hand and place it in the drop area, negate the counter attack skill. So if you attack, you're trying to go for a game, and they try to counter, you could pay 2 red energy. 1 red and 1 yellow energy. And you'll always have 1 in there because you're going to have turn 1, you're going to charge something red-yellow. After you do that, it counters the counter they're trying to counter with, and then you get to go ahead with the attack. You also have to discard a yellow card, which this is yellow, this is yellow, this is yellow, both these are yellow. So you definitely do it around turn 4 or 5, so you'll have some cards in your hand, and you do draw a lot with this deck, so you'll definitely have some yellow to get rid of if you have to. So that is the yellow-red package. And my other build, my Unison build, basically swaps out the yellow and red package and just puts in 4 of the Jiren Unisons, and then all of the free negates that go accompany the Unisons. So basically the Dells and the I run 1 Yamcha. So that basically gets subbed out for all this stuff, and then it gets a little bit bulked out with some extra counters and stuff like that. So the next cards that we run is Magenta Emergency Armament. So this card is great. This is actually a free counter attack. It doesn't counter the attack, but it negs the battle card 10k when it attacks, which will proc you to draw another card. And the only stipulation with this is it's free, but you have to have one of the Z extra cards out on your battlefield, which is the main reason that I run this 1-in-1. When the anniversary box comes out, there is another one energy cost, 1Z energy Z extra card that is coming out. That's I'm probably going to switch to, so I have a little bit more room in the Z deck to mess around with. But for now, this is the only one there is, but it's great. So turn 1, turn 2, turn 2 preferably, because you're going to charge a multicolor. You want to have an energy in your combo, in your Z energy, so that you can get rid of it. You could play this for 1 energy and 1 Z energy, and then if you have any of these in your hand, then you can just play them for free when they attack. So you counter attack, you play it, you neg something 10k. Early game, you're killing stuff. Late game, you're drawing cards. Plus, you'll be negging it for the turn, and then whatever else you neg in any other way could kill up to 25ks, 30ks. So it's really, really, really good. It's great for this deck, I think. And it does have an added bonus because it is a Magenta. And if you discard a Magenta with this card here, you could play the Cell from underneath. Next card is a counterplay. So SS Sun Gohan defeating the Demon. I only run 2 because our Z energy kind of gets used with some of these when you play some of this stuff, and you don't want to generate too much because you have so many counters. But if you have to, and you're going to do a lot of arrivaling, so this will actually put a lot of Z, by the arrivaling itself, it'll put a lot of stuff in your Z energy and stuff like that, so you can actually use this. But if you don't know what this card does, this is a tournament pack promo from a like a set or two ago. But it's got unique double strike blocker. It is a 20k 4-drop. And counterplay, if your leader is red, you play this card. Permanent, for each Z energy in the cost of Z cards in your leader area and battle area, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 1. So, for example, say you have this out. It costs 3 energy. You'd only have to pay 1 red energy to play this guy here. And then when he comes out, when this card is played, choose up to one of your opponent's cards, and it gets minus 20k power for the turn. So it's counterplay, so you do it on your opponent's turn. They play something, you can play this, and when you play it, you neg something 20k. It's a blocker if you need it. If it survives, then you can attack with a 20k double strike next turn. Even if it's on your turn and they try to, say, topo or something. Or you could play this because it is a battle card being played, and you can do this on your turn as well to draw a card. So it's really good for 1 energy, draw a card, double strike, blocker, 20k. Really, really good. Red good stuff really is all it is. Well, a little red yellow splash, like I said, with yellow splash. Alright, after that, another TP promo that we run is actually for this deck. This is from the newest tournament pack. Cell Max Appearance of Despair. So active main, limit 1 for 1 red energy, and your if your leader is red, red Cell Max SH, which it is, and you have 2 or more energy, play this card from your hand, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, and choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 10k power for the turn. So this also doubles as a Self-Awakener, so once you have 2 life, if you want to use this card to take a life, you can. Also, it negs 10k, so later games, you draw a card when you play it. It's an 8-drop 20k. Active main, once per turn, if you have 3 or more energy, you can place 1 red ribbon card, 1 red ribbon army card in your draw. Switch this card to active mode, and then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets another 20k neg. So it negs 30k altogether. And then this card itself, when it untaps, let me see, has 2 or more energy, 1 card, and it gets, yeah, so choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 20k. So it's just a powerhouse. And like I was saying before, there's a card coming up that supports this but also the omnidirectional beam. This is an 8-drop cell max. So say it's late game and you play one of these, you go for a swing. You can give it another 15k and double strike. So it would be a 35k double strike boss monster. So really good in this deck. It's just good in general. It's a 20k one drop that negs something 10k right off the bat. So it's just a good card in general, I think. So that is our first cell max. We also run the other 8-drop. I only run 2 of these because you can only play it on turn 4. We draw a lot of cards, so we tend to see it a lot. But if you don't know what this card does, it is an 8-drop 25k blocker. When this card attacks or activates blocker skill, switch this card to active mode, and this card gets negative 15 power for the turn, and at the end of until the end of battle. So you block. It's 25k. You block. Tap it, it untaps, it gets minus 15. What is it? Yeah, minus 15. So it'll just be a 10k blocker in case you need to get another block in. So it'll allow you to block twice. Also, when this card is KO'd, it removed from a battle area by a skill. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and it gets minus 30k. So if they kill it, you can minus something by 30k, which is awesome. Active main, limit 1 for 1 red energy. If your leader is red and your opponent has 3 or more energy, you can play this card. So for 1 energy, it's a 25k blocker, and then when it activates blocker or attacks, it gets switched to active mode. So, and like I said, it's another 8-drop cell max. So omnidirectional beam will give it another 15k, so it'll become a 40k double strike dual attacker technically, because when it attacks it switches to active mode. So another good card to go for game. I might squeeze one more in here, I'm not sure, because I run a little bit of I have 2 other boss monsters I run that I'll get to in a minute. 2 more magentas that we run here. This is really good. A lot of people are telling me to jack it up to 3, and I might, just because of the effects it has. So magenta, path to wish fulfillment. Auto, when this card is played, you draw 1 card. Auto, limit 1 for 1 red energy. If your leader card is a red ribbon army card, when this card is used in a combo, choose up to 1 of your red ribbon army cards, and it gains double strike for the battle. So it says cards, so that counts for your leader too. So this is basically a Champa for this deck. You combo with it, you pay 1 energy, you get plus 5k and double strike. Now it only works on your leader and any of your red ribbon army cards, which is both of your cells. You could use it on this magenta. When you attack, it gets played for free, and you can attack, and then it'll be a 20k double strike. Whatever else you combo is whatever else you combo. But the leader alone just is great. So if you want to save, it's like a Champa, so if you want to save it for going for game, it's wicked good to have in your hand for a while, and then when you actually swing and attack with it, you could use your leader, or you could use both these guys, which is crazy. Another boss monster that we run is... Well, actually, I'll do the boss monster after. So I do run 4 SS3 Son Goku one-hit wonder. This is another free play that is really good for this deck. Plus, it has another plus for being in the deck because it is a Son Goku. But if you don't know what this card does, when your opponent's battle card's power is decreased at all, if SS3 Goku one-hit wonder is not in play in the battle area, you can play this card from your hand. So it's a free 15k attacker once you neg something, and you neg, this whole deck negs like crazy. So as soon as you do it, it's absolutely insane. Active battle, for 1 red energy, send this card from your drop area to your warp. Choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, and it gets minus 5,000 power for the turn. So this is also a great ability. So say they kill it, it comes off the board, or you have to combo it away and you put it in your drop area. Once it's in your drop, you can pay 1 red energy, active battle, and give something minus 5k, which will draw you a card from your leader. Now you can do this on your opponent's turn or on your turn. Great. For this, it's basically a draw 1, pay 1, draw 1, but also you get it's a free 15k attacker when you neg something, which is crazy. So like I said, these have a kind of dual reason that they're in the deck. I do run 2 of these guys. I did have it at 3, but you have to play this guy at 4, so I kind of waited. I mean, I kind of figured that 2 is enough because we draw enough, and by turn 4 or 5, we're going for game like crazy. We're very defensive, so we can hold off easily till then with a lot of these crazy negates and counterplays and stuff like that, and arrivals. But if you don't know what this card does, it's Son Goku and Piccolo, arc rivals fighting together. Deflect, so when it comes in, it's safe. It's got double strike. It's 25k. When this card is played, you choose one of your leader cards, and it gets plus 5,000 power until the end of your opponent's turn. So it gives it a Sensu Bean effect. Active main, limit 1 for 2 red energy. If you have 4 or more red energy, play this card from your hand. Place 1 red Son Goku or Piccolo from your drop area under this card. So this guy counts as a Son Goku, so you can put this guy right under here. Once per turn, if your leader is red and you place 1 card from underneath this card into your drop area, you can switch this to active mode. So it becomes a 25k dual attack double strike with deflect. Another way just to go for game, because this is a limit 1. This is not. Yes, it is a limit 1. Is it a limit 1? Yeah, okay. So this is a limit 1, this is a limit 1, so this is a little bit more gas if you're trying to go for game turn 4 or 5, to have a big boss monster come out and destroy some stuff. And like I said, with this card in here, it's kind of just like obvious. It doesn't neg anything, but when you're going for game, one of these other cards are going to neg something. It's the end of the game, it's probably not going to be too big of a deal. At all, unless it's like a blocker. But like I said, all this other stuff, you could just mop it all up with all this other stuff here. I run 1 Overrealm, Vegito volley attack. So this card can attack cards in active mode, and it's a 30k for free if you have 6 cards in your drop. When your opponent has 2 or more energy, when an opponent's battle card is KO'd by this card's attack, you switch it to active mode. So you can kind of mop up their whole board with 30k, and then you can restand it and go in for a leader attack, which is really cool. I'm debating on keeping it. I might switch it to the Broly, because sometimes there's some giant monsters I can't neg completely because they're huge, unless I have the right things in my hand. So I might switch to the Broly that warps something also. So that is our Overrealm. Up the Overrealm over here or something. Make some room so you guys can see the whole deck. And then our secret rare is SS3 Gohanks. Indeterminable Warrior. Okay. So I'm thinking about switching. I need a Cell Max. I mean a Cell Max, I'm sorry. I need to figure out a substitute for this here, but this works really, really well. Turn 5, it's a good go for game. But turn 4, it'll keep you alive another turn. So if you don't know what this card does, it's a Unison. And this actually go good. Like I said, I've been swapping out between the Arrival and the Unison build just to see which one works the best. And this works great in both. But it's, you know, you can use all the free counterplays for the Unisons with this guy. So if you don't know what he does, he's got dual attack. He's a blocker. He's a secret rare, so you can only have 1 in a deck. When this card is played, choose all your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and they get minus 25k power for the turn. So, turn 4, say you need to board wipe some giant monsters. I mean, turn 5 or something. You could do omnidirectional beam, and you can neg everything 25k, and then you can neg everything another 25k if you play this, which is 50k negging everything. But this one ignores barrier, so it's a little bit better. So its +1 is when your opponent attacks with a battle card, you may choose it, and it gets minus 25k power for the turn, which will make you draw a card. So when they swing at you, you can just minus it 25k and give this a marker and draw a card from your leader ability. So it's got a -4 here. Activate main. This card gets plus 15,000 power and triple strike for the turn. And at the end of your turn, you can switch this card to active mode. So it'll give you another block. It has dual attack. So it'll be a dual attack 40k triple strike. And it's a Unison, so it's kind of hard to deal with. It's not like dealing with like a battle card or something like that where they can just kill it. So really strong there. All right. So that is my build. I think it's a little bit spicy. You guys can tell me what you think in the comments. I do have more deck profiles coming. I kind of took a little bit of a break. If you guys noticed, I do have a new intro. I'm going to really up my game a little bit, and I'm going to work on editing some videos, putting some music in some stuff. You might hear some music on this one. We'll see exactly how far I get with it. And I'm going to probably have some new backgrounds, and I'm just going to change up some stuff a little bit. It took me, I was out of the picture for a little bit. I'm back. I had some personal things I had to do, but I'm going to get right back into this. I'm going to start with the shorts. I'm going to do deck profiles like crazy, and I'll be doing pack openings and all sorts of stuff. So we're going to get back into this hardcore. I might have some other content. I have a few ideas that I'm working on with a few friends, so we'll see what we can do. But I'm DBSTCG Central, guys. I hope you liked the deck profile video. Feel free to like, share, comment, and I will see you guys on the next one.